The beginning of the Mafia in America, New York, early 20th century. Narrator. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Italian immigrants began arriving in the United States. These immigrants brought with them their own culture and way of life, but they also brought with them a system of values and social customs different from those that prevailed in American society. At that time, American society was suffering from widespread poverty, and there was a shortage of jobs due to rapid industrial development. In this environment, the Italian Mafia emerged as a powerful force in major cities such as New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia. The organizational structure of the Mafia: a small office, New York, early 20th century. Initially, the Italian Mafia was made up of a group of small families working independently. But over time, a more organized structure was formed, including several families of criminals, each controlling a specific neighborhood or even an entire city. Images of Mafia members in elegant suits talking to each other in secret locations appear on screen. The Italian Mafia followed a hierarchical system, where each family boss was the leader of a group involved in illegal activities, from bootlegging alcohol during Prohibition to drug trafficking, arms dealing, and extorting money from local businesses. Prohibition-era New York streets during Prohibition, 1920-1933. In 1920, the United States imposed a ban on the sale of alcoholic beverages. This was a golden opportunity for the Italian Mafia. Mafia leaders took advantage of these laws to smuggle alcohol illegally from Canada into America and were able to control the alcoholic beverage market. Footage of alcohol smuggling trucks and busy streets while Mafia members promote their products. The massive profits from alcohol smuggling allowed them to expand their influence. The Italian Mafia began to take control of many businesses and factories, and they gained significant power over the American economy. The rise of power prominent figures. New York, 1930s. Over time, prominent figures emerged in the history of the Italian Mafia in America. Such figures included Charles Lucky Lombardo and Vincent Benny Natali in New York, and Al Capone in Chicago. Images of Al Capone and his followers in a modern salon in Chicago appear. Al Capone, one of the most famous mafia figures in American history, controlled many criminal activities in Chicago and owned a massive network of illegal businesses. Though he was admired in some popular circles for his charitable acts, he was simultaneously under federal investigation for committing major crimes. Investigations and confrontation with authorities. FBI headquarters, Washington, D.C. As the influence of the Italian Mafia grew, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, began to take decisive actions against this type of criminal activity. U.S. authorities launched numerous investigations targeting the Mafia, but often, the Mafia managed to evade justice due to its secretive methods and strong connections with political and law enforcement figures. The beginning of the end. New York streets in the 1970s and 1980s. In the 1970s and 1980s, the power of the Italian Mafia began to decline. Federal investigations intensified their pressure on these gangs, and a number of people decided to cooperate with the authorities and reveal Mafia secrets. These testimonies helped uncover many of the illegal operations that had been run in secrecy. Footage of Mafia members being arrested, and trials being held. Authorities began to gradually dismantle the Italian Mafia, and with the increasing penalties and immense pressure from the government, many Mafia members began to abandon their criminal lives or flee abroad. The legacy of the Italian Mafia in America. The location: New York. Today, although the Italian Mafia has diminished in power, its legacy remains alive in American culture. Many films and TV series, such as The Godfather and Scarface, have drawn inspiration from the stories of the Italian Mafia in America. Despite the Mafia losing some of its power today, its influence on organized crime culture and American politics cannot be denied.